Abraham Katz. We're starting this year today, Dach Yomi, Daf Zayin Amadalid, finishing the Maimer Yavol, and starting the new Maimer Tzenera Ena. Okay, so we spoke previously about Yavol and Yuval. We said that we spoke a lot about Yuval, that he liked to play on the guitar, he liked to play music, and we spoke with the Indian of Nagina, and how that's part of davening, to bring out your feeling for Hashem, and the different kinds of nigunim, because the different kinds of feeling for Hashem. And we didn't explain what Yavel is. So now Alter is going to explain the idea of Yavel, and how Yavel and Yuval work together, they're brothers. V'zeu Indian Yuval avi kol teifes kinar cholu. So the Alter Rebbe is going to explain that the idea of Yavel is that he was a shepherd and he lived in tents. And the idea of a tent is a makif. It's encompassing light, which encompasses everything equally. And the Rebbe Maharash in the Kuti Torah, explains that this is the idea of learning Torah and the idea of hisbonenus, that your knowledge encompasses all the feelings that you have from that knowledge. In other words, you have a knowledge and an idea about Hashem, which later will be expressed in different kinds of feelings and different actions, but it's all included in the original understanding about Hashem. So that's like the idea of the tense of Torah study. Torah study is called Ohale Torah, right? The tense of Torah study, because the Torah, when you study it, it's like a makif in you. You understand it in a higher level, and from that higher level of understanding, you bring it into your feelings and into your life. And so the Alter is going to explain that this is the idea of Yavel and Yuval. Yavel is the idea of this higher level of understanding, this makif. And then Yuval is that through davening and negina, you bring out that understanding into a feeling. Yuval avi kol teifes kinar cholu. Yuval lashon halacha shemov mamshech lamayla edikina roga v'chanas shir kanal sheidei shir hu ali yotzei mishir cholu. So this is the idea of Yuval. Yuval, he played musical instruments because Yuval, the word Yuval means to bring forth, and it means that it brings forth and draws out this feelings through the song. The Yavel hu haya avi yeshev oihel mikne kiksiv l'shemesh sam oihel bahem perish kadesh yel lahashemesh b'chin ezay shiel la b'chenes bat l'shuka hu yedei oihel bahem. So Yavel, says he was a father of people who dwelled in tents and took care of cattle. But it says that the sun, Hashem made a tent for it. What does it mean Hashem made a tent? The sky is like a tent for the sun. That's where the sun lives, inside of the sky. So Hashem made that everything has a makif. Even the sun, which is very big, also has a makif. Everyone has to have a makif which encompasses it. Yeah, that's right. We have a yarmulke, we have a hat, a shtreimel. So everyone has their makif, which that gives them the power to have bittul to Hashem. From the oihel, which that means from the makif, that's how he's always able to have the bittul. The bittul comes from this makif, from this higher encompassing level. That's where he's able to draw forth and express his bittul to Hashem. So that's it. The word Yavel means hiskalulus. And Alter Rebbe quotes a pasuk in Shoftim about donkey food, that apparently donkey food was this hiskalulus. They put a bunch of things, they made a cholent, and they gave it to the donkey, and so the donkey ate this hiskalulus. So the Yavel means hiskalulus. Pirish shehi ha'ara mi'machenes makif sheshem hu b'li ischalkus v'yuchal l'sariv ha'kol. So everyone has their So this was a scholarless in the makif, that from there is able to come the feeling of love for Hashem in the Yuval, in the davening, in the negina and davening. And that's why it says the Yavel, he dwelled in a tent and he took care of cattle. That oil means this makif. The mikne the hamshech lamata, and since it's from this makif, it's able to also come down below. a real makif, the higher the makif, the lower it's able to be nimshach. Meaning, the deeper something is in your neshama, is in you, it's expressed on all levels of your personality and how you acted in your life. So, this is like what the Maharash is explaining on this Maimer, that the deeper your understanding is, and the more it's makif, the more that it's an all-pervasive truth, so the more it's able to be expressed not only in your feelings, but in all your aspects of your physical life. Like the story about Binyamin Kletzker, that he wrote, he was making a business calculation, and at the end he wrote, Sach hakol eino mavadei, because by him it was so upgelegt, Achtas Hashem, that when he's writing a business account, he's not learning Hasidus, he's not davening, he's writing a business account in his business, he writes that there's eino mavadei, because his makif was very, very deep. And so it was nimshach all the way to mata. Ki ha-makif ein b'may lamata, k'mash kasev v'tachaz v'resaylam. That if it's a real makif, then it's above and below the same. K'ma Yaakov shei roitz tzoin, maka liv lachlu, k'skal tzchagas ayin zar, v'yetzi, sha'ara macha roitz tzoin, hu roi begashmis, mash enkin Yaakov shei yoshev oilim himshech me'bechinas makifim nis roitz tzoin, v'zeh yoshev oil umikne kanal. A regular shepherd, what does he just take care of? He takes care of physical sheep. Whereas Yaakov was one of the Shiva Roim, Mefranesim, Emun and Neshamas Yisrael, and he was a shepherd. He was giving nourishment and sustenance to Ruchnias, to all the Yidden. And so that's the idea, that he's a shepherd, that he's able to give even down to the lowest level, to give them life and nourishment. And so that's this idea of the Yoshev Ohel Umikne, the Davka from the Ohel, from the Makif, it's able to come even to somebody, he's on the level of Zera Behema, that doesn't have Das and Riyan Elokos. But from the level of the Ohel, from the Makif, he's able to also have Das and Riyan Elokos. So that's the idea of the Rebbe, that he gives Riyan and Mun and Elokos even to Zera Behema. I very much because,
That was this year's Basilagani?
Yeah, this is Basilagani. It's very much because of Minyan Yuval, a Parsha Shlach, a Pasuk Makosh Reinhard Minyan Miknim, Parsha Leitzi, a Pasuk Vashishanim, Bitzonecha, a Pasuk Yivim Shredachol. So in the Maimer that we did, we basically we spoke about the Nakuda of Negina and Shir, that in order to bring out your feeling for Hashem by davening, it's very important and very helpful to have song and Negina, and that's why in the Beis HaMikdash, the Levim accompanied the Avodah in the Beis HaMikdash to help you bring out your love for Hashem. But in order to get there, you first have to have the Makif, you first have to have this Moinanus and the Ohel Torah, to learn Chassidus and think and understand, and then when it comes to davening and Nigunim, you're able to bring that out into a feeling. So the next Maimer is called Senera Ena, which is a Pasuk in Shir HaShirim. And the Pasuk says, "Sener and Ibn Siyam b'Melech Shaimai, v'Torah shitli imay b'im chasana sivim simchas liboy." So the Pasuk is saying that the Benos Tzion, that the Yidden should go out and see the Shloimeh HaMelech with the crown that his mother gave him on the day that he got married and the day he was very happy. So there's different ways of explaining this Pasuk, but the Alter Rebbe in this Maimer wants to focus on a few nekudas. He wants to explain what does it mean Yom Chasanasiv Yom Simchas Liboy, and that the Gemara says Yom Chasanasiv is Matan Torah, Yom Simchas Liboy is a Binyan Beis HaMikdash, says in the Gemara in Tainus. So why is the Chasana like Mount Torah, and why is the building of the Beis HaMikdash like being very happy in your heart? So the Alter Rebbe is going to explain what's the idea of a heart in Avodas Hashem and in Lamaila Baruchnius, and why is this in Bereshis? What connection does it have? Parshas Bereshis. So at the end of the Maimer, the Alter Rebbe is going to explain what it says. So Pisa Yuvan HaMidrash HaPasik V'Yisatziv El Liboy, that Hashem, it says Hashem was very sad in his heart, and he said he's going to destroy the world, and V'Noach Matzachein B'Einei Hashem. So it says Hashem was very sad in his heart. So what is that supposed to mean? Hashem was very sad in his heart? So to unexplain what it means Hashem was sad in his heart, we have to explain what does it mean a heart in Avodas Hashem and Lamaila. Yitzaner and Goymer B'Yom Chasan is Zaman Torah B'Yom Simchas Liboy is Binyan Beis HaMikdash L'Havi Nama Nimsha Man Torah B'Yom Chasan so Binyan Beis HaMikdash L'Simchas Liboy. So So why is the Chasana like Mount Torah? And why is the Beis Hamikdash like being very happy? V'inyan the tefillah hu b'makom korbanos. V'hinei tefillah nikra avodah shebelev k'mashkatz b'gemara pasuk lavdu b'chol levavachem ezehu avodah shebelev zeh tefillah. The idea of davening is that it's in the place of korbanos, and that's why tefillah is called avodah shebelev. Avodah, a service, is normally speaking about in the Beis Hamikdash, like it says in the Gemara. V'chei avodah yesh b'vavel. Is there avodah? Avodah is in the Beis Hamikdash. It says yeah, because it brings from Daniel that palach. That it uses the same word in Aramaic for avodah in the service of davening as it uses for the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. And that's why the Beis Hamikdash, which is the place of Bar Karbanos, is called. His heart is very happy. Because Karbanos is the idea of davening, which is called the service of the heart. And therefore, even now, davening with kavana, and especially minyan in a shul, which is called a mikdash ma'at, it's like an extension of the Beis Hamikdash. It's called the happiness of the heart, meaning of Hashem's heart. And just like the karbanos brought simchas leiv to Hashem, made Hashem's heart very happy, so to our davening makes Hashem happy and makes us happy. So we have to explain, why does it mean that makes Hashem's heart happy? What does it mean, Hashem's heart? And how does it apply to us that makes our heart happy? So Alter is going to explain what is the idea of the heart. It says in Shir Hashem, Livaftani achasikala, which he translates here that you've captured my heart. Meaning when it's that Livaftani, you've made me have a feeling in my heart. My sister, my bride. Shekin Israel Nikris Lev, that the Yidden are called the heart of Hashem. Dihine al derech mashal halev ba'adam sheshafeya chayes l'chol ivarim d'chol hadamim holchem min halev v'yotzim l'chol ivarim derech hagidim ma'arkim ad sim kol guf k'magam b'tzipronei regel magia chayes adam she'on nefesh ki yedua, in the person's heart. So the blood from the heart goes to all the different parts of the body through the veins, and it reaches to the furthermost parts of the body, even to the fingers and toenails. Dihine kol adam she'yotzim me'alev l'chol ivarim him chayzim m'shavim l'chasal halev. So all the blood that left the heart returns back into the heart. Because there's two parts of the heart. One part of the heart is where all the blood from the body returns to, gathers in that part of the heart, which that's the right part of the heart. And the left part of the heart, it pumps out the blood to all the parts of the body. So one part of the heart gathers all the blood, and one part of the heart pumps out all the blood. And even the blood which is created in the body through eating and drinking goes to the heart, and then it goes to all the different parts of the body. So this is the circular motion of the blood, that it goes to the heart and from the heart. This is like the idea that all the rivers go into the ocean, and then the ocean goes back in land into the rivers. So there's a circular motion of water in the earth, similar to the circular motion of blood in the body. So too, in the service of a heart and davening, which that's the time when the love for Hashem is aroused in the neshama, and that's in your heart. And that's what it says, you should love Hashem with all your heart. What does that mean? It means just like all the blood comes from the different parts of the body to the heart, so too all the different aspects of your personality become united and connected to this great and powerful love for Hashem by davening. V'zeu Shema Yisrael, Shema Lashon Asifa. Shema means together, which it says Vayshama Shol Es Ha'am, that Shol HaMelech gathered the people together, and it says Vayshama. So Shema means to gather. You have to gather your whole self together. The kibbutz lebechinas ayin rabasi who calls such a midas. So this gathering, the Shema, is on a big ayin, which the ayin means the 7 midas, the way they're in Eifin of Yud. 70 is 10 times 7, which that means that you have the 7 emotions, and when they're high level, they're called 70. And so this is what we're saying, that Shema means you're gathering together your whole personality, your whole self, into this great love for Hashem, into this Sheva Midas. So this love that you bring yourself to, that you gather yourself to, is created through this awareness, through the contemplation in Psikut Zimra and in Shema Yisrael. So now the Alter Rebbe is going to explain what's this awareness of Shema Yisrael, and then what's this awareness of Psikut Zimra. Pirish Shema Yisrael Havai Elokeinu Hu B'chinas Yuchar Chachma Bina Shnigvar Zer Parshas Chaysar Machshav Yuvla. What does it mean that you should hear that Havai Elokeinu, that Havai and Elokeinu are connected? So it says in the Zohar that means Chachma and Bina are connected, which is called Machshava v'Yuvla. Machshava is thought, and Yuvla means Yovel, which means 50, which is the 50 gates of understanding, which is called, Bina is called as 50 gates of understanding. But in Chachma, it's called one Machshava. So the Alter is going to explain what's the idea of Machshava and Yuvla. First, Machshava. The Machshava echad bar kol ha'olamais. Why is it called a thought? Why is Chachma called a thought? Because when Hashem made the whole world, He created it with one thought, the whole entire world. Which that's like it says, that Hashem looks at all to the end of time in one glance. Because this that Hashem made time, past, present, and future, the source is from Hashem's midas in Atzilus, from Zah. Like it says, 1,000 years in your eyes is like one day that passed. And the 6 days of creation are from these 6 midas. So the fact that there's 6,000 years of creation is because it's coming from this 6 midas of Atzilus, and each midah corresponds to 1,000 years. So in the midas it's only 6, but through coming into Malchus of Atzilus, which is called Dibur, so it's divided up these 6 into 6,000, and in these 6,000 years become divided up more. That each year is divided up into 12 months, and each month is divided into days, and each day is divided up into hours. And this is Chalkus is mainly through Malchus of Atzilus, which is called Dibur. Like when you have a thought, it takes a long time to speak out your one thought. You could have one thought that could take a long time to explain in Dibur. So too Hashem's thought includes everything, but the way it's coming into Dibur, it's divided up. So that's when it's coming into Dibur. But when it's in Machshava, which this type of Machshava would mean even higher than Midas, so then it's all included in one. In other words, in your Midas, in your feelings, you could have different feelings for the same idea. From one understanding, you could come to look at it different ways, you could feel differently about it. So in Midas, there's more Hischalkus than in Machshava, than in this one Hischalus. V'zeu pirish Havai Elokeinu. Shubachenes Machshava Kanal. That's what it means, Havai Elokeinu. It means Elokeinu, our life is from Havaya. It's from Hayve Haviv V'asid B'yachad. So when we say Shem Havaya here, we mean to say that our life is from a level of Hashem which is higher than past, present, and future. Not only past, present, and future in the physical world, but even in the source of past, present, future, the source of time, from even the source of Hischalkus in the 6 midas of Atzilus. It's coming from even higher than that. It's coming from a place where there's no Hischalkus, because everything is included in one Machshava. V'yisod Machshava, and the Yidden, they come from this level called Machshava, from a place which is higher than any Hischalkus. And that's why it says that our life is from Havaya. So that's what it means, that it's Yichud of Yuvla and Machshava and Yuvla. What does that mean? It means really our Neshama comes from Machshava, comes from this one place where there's all Hischalus, but it came through Yuvla, it came through Bina and Malchus until it comes to us, to the way we are here in this world. So the reason that we live in a world of Eschalkas is because we came through Yuvla and we came through Dibur. But really, our source is from Machshava. Yisrael all about Machshava. And just like this place is higher than his Chalkas of Zman, so too it's higher than his Chalkas of Oilam and Nefesh. It's higher than his division of place and even of levels, of spiritual levels, which is called Nefesh. So this level, not only is it higher than time, and it's higher than space, and it's higher than spiritual levels. So this is why it's called Sev Kamin. It surrounds all worlds. It's higher than all the worlds and all the limitations of definable worlds. It's coming from a level of Hashem, the way that He's higher than being limited in creating worlds. So when you realize that your life and your neshama comes from the ultimate truth of Hashem, which is higher than being the creator of place and time and levels, but from the real infinite truth of Hashem, and you really realize what that means, and that's where your life is coming from, so then you'll love and you'll want that Havaya should be Lekecha. You should want to feel and reconnect to your source. That if this is true, that this is where your neshama is really coming from, so how come I don't feel that? So I would be a havta, it would be a nice thing if Havaya would be Lekecha, if I would experience that my life is really from Shem Havaya. So that's the hisbonenus of Shema Yisrael. That's one hisbonenus. The Alter Rebbe gives many different ways of looking at the hisbonenus of Shema. But in this Maimer, that's the hisbonenus of Shema Yisrael. Which through that you get the kibbutz hadamim. You pull your whole personality together to this great love for Hashem. So that's the hisbonenus of Shema. And Bez Hashem tomorrow we'll speak about what's hisbonenus of Psikut Zimra and how that brings to Avos Hashem.